Good morning, middle school.
Oh, hey y'all.
It's Wednesday, April 29th. I'll be posting this, I don't know, probably tomorrow or Friday. But I wanted you to meet my friend. This is Julian McKlurkin. We met playing basketball. How did you hear about the gym?
That's a good question. There's many places in Columbus to play basketball. And I'm sure somebody just told me about it one morning, and I came, and it just kind of, I fell in love with it because there's not a lot of places you can go where you have good guys. And the thing that drew me to it was not only was it really good basketball being played, but before we even start, we pray every morning. And I had never been to an open gym like that before. And consequently, I don't think I've ever gotten injured here either because we're always praying that the Lord keeps us and keeps us away from injury and hurt and harm. But I just love the spirit of the people in here, and it's a great court to come and play and get better in.
Yeah, so I wanted you to meet Julian. He has an interesting job. Tell him who you work with.
I am a professional basketball player, world traveler. I play for the Harlem Globetrotters. My real name is Julian McKlurkin, but my teammates call me Zeus. They call me Zeus for many reasons. One is my dunking ability. They say every time I dunk the ball, it sounds like thunder, but also because of my godlike physique. Not a joke, Pastor.
One of my favorite videos you posted, you're on a roller coaster,
Yeah.
and you're coming around that bend on that fast that last turn, and you shot a basketball into a hoop.
Yeah.
And you had to manage the speed, the angle, and you made it. It was amazing.
Yeah. A lot of prayer that day, a lot of prayer. So that one was one of my most proud moments, getting a chance to shoot that trick shot. So we shoot trick shots all over the world. That one was at the Mall of America, and it was a tough shot to hit, but I was able to make it. One of the other ones that I'm most proud of is right here in Columbus. Have you ever seen the one I did at the Horseshoe?
Huh.
So at the Horseshoe, I spun the ball on my finger from the top level, and I threw it down all the way down to the main concourse level, curved around, splashed right in the bucket.
No kidding.
Yep, 13.
Is that on video?
That's on YouTube, yeah.
You have to. I'll just look that up. I'll show it to the students.
Check it out right here, y'all. Watch this.
So, tell a little bit of your story, your basketball story of high school and college. I know there were some speed bumps in the road for you. And what was that? Tell that story.
Yeah, so basketball.
Did you hear you're here in Columbus? You're right from Columbus, right?
Born and raised in Columbus. I graduated in 2004. I went to Independence High School. So I was raised over here on the southeast side of Columbus. And basketball growing up was always my favorite sport, but it was the one sport I was not very good at. And my mindset, my mentality was always the one thing that I'm not good at. I want to try to work on that the most, to try to prove everybody wrong that I can be good and great in this aspect. So a lot of speed bumps because I love basketball. I love the speed of it, the pace of it, the camaraderie, the team, the showmanship, and being there for your teammates. I loved it, but I just couldn't make the team. I tried out from 7th grade all the way to 10th grade, and from 7th to 10th grade kept getting cut. I was trying out as a guard, so I wasn't very tall at this time. Today I'm 6'8". Another story about why I'm 6'8" is funny too. But I would work on all my ball handling and everything, but everybody was a ball handler. Everybody was short and everybody knew how to dribble. So I had to differentiate myself some way. Another thing that kept reoccurring is guys were playing basketball in the summertime when I wasn't. I spent a lot of time just playing other things, football, baseball, soccer. I wasn't good in basketball, so people wouldn't pick me on their team. So I'd end up going, playing tetherball or something while everybody else is playing basketball. So I say all that to say this: my basketball acumen never got built up in AAU or summer leagues like everyone else. I had an older brother who was excellent at basketball. He was like a street legend here in Columbus, Robert McKlurkin, and he never played in high school either, so he didn't know how to tell me how to make a team and what it is I needed to make a team. So just fast forward each year, I try out, I go to the hallway during lunchtime to see if my name is on the list, to see if I made the team that day. I got cut first round. Next year, I got cut on the second round. So I saw I'm getting better, but I'm still not making the team. And then all the way up to 10th grade, I walk up in the hallway to look for my name. It's a big crowd around there. Still, my name's not on the board. Julian McKlurkin got cut again. So fast forward to my summer 10th grade year. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try out one more time. I'm just gonna give this basketball thing one more try. Because mind you, I was starting to get better at baseball, starting to get better at football, soccer. I even picked up tennis at this point, which I was kind of built for. I was about 5'10" at this time, so taller than average, but still I wasn't big enough to be a center or anything like that. And that summer, I prayed to the Lord, and I asked him, my faith has always been very strong from an early age. I was born and raised in the church, and God called me to preach later on in college. But in my 10th grade year, I prayed to God that summer, and I said, you know, Lord, I really want to be a professional athlete. I don't care what the sport is, but I don't care what the team is, but if you allow me to do this, Lord, if you allow me to be a professional athlete, then I will tell everybody when I get there that the only reason that I'm there is because of you. And I made God that promise. Consequently, that summer I also drank a lot of milk. So when people ask me, how do you get tall? I tell them you gotta pray a lot and you gotta drink a lot of milk. Because that summer, Pastor Chip, kids, I grew 5 inches over one summer.
Oh my gosh.
One summer, I just shot up out of nowhere.
5'10", you go back to school 6'3".
Yes. And they're like, 6'3" with the skills of a guard. So I come back to school and the coaches are like, who's this guy? You know? So I make the team. I finally made the team, but I wasn't good enough to be on the varsity team, right? So I played JV my entire year. I got pretty good, learned how to score, learned how to be a good teammate, and I started getting good at the game of basketball and really falling in love. So what I did was I dropped off all the other sports and I honed in on basketball, just zeroed right in. My senior year, made the varsity team, but wasn't good enough to start. I averaged maybe 3 minutes a game my senior year in high school. Now, mind you, this was also probably one of our most talented years at Independence High School for some time. We had a team of entirely seniors. There were no juniors on our team. So, you know, the competition was very stiff just to make the team, let alone get some playing time on there. So made the team, 2 minutes a game, you know, in a very efficient 2 minutes. I still average about 2 points and 2 rebounds every single game, which is super efficient with your time if you can do that in a game. I don't know how long you wanted this, but it's a pretty extensive story.
What? So you face these disappointments, and I think it carried over into college of people not, or and then you had another growth spurt, but kind of underestimating you or not really giving you a shot.
Yes, sir. Yeah, at every level. I met these roadblocks because I didn't have the history that everybody else had with basketball, playing from an early age, playing at AAU, having the numbers, traveling, doing all this stuff. So a team took a shot on me in college called Tiffin University. I went there for 2 seasons. The coach there knew my older brother, and he said, sure, he can come here and play. It wasn't even like I really want him to come here and play. It was just like, yeah, sure, I'm friends with you, let's do it. I get to Tiffin University, and this is the year I found out that colleges have JV teams. I didn't even know there was such thing as JV in college. So I played 2 years, not even on a varsity team in college. But this, Pastor Chip, this is when I got good in basketball. I have a green light to do whatever I want. My scoring went from 2 points a game in high school to about 22 points a game my freshman and sophomore year in college playing JV. So they just gave me the ball. And mind you, I started growing again. I got finally to my height of 6'8" that sophomore year. And yeah, so that sophomore year, my coach quit. I was slated to finally make the varsity team the very next year, but the coach quit. So I had another coach coming in, and he was looking at my background, looking at my history, and he was like, who is this kid? He's not gonna play any minutes for me. We'll keep him on JV or we'll keep him on the bench. And I said, I don't wanna do that. I said, if I'm gonna be at a college and sitting the bench, it's gonna be somewhere I really wanna be and somewhere I really wanna grow in. So I took a chance and I went to a Division I school. I transferred to North Carolina A&T State University, where I sat out for 1 year and I got better. I got really, really good that summer. I was waking up 5:30 every day, playing basketball, playing against this other guy who was trying to make the team too, playing one-on-one, going up and down the court, running stadiums. just working on my game. And that year, I also ended up breaking my foot. So I broke the 5th metatarsal on my toe here, and it's a common injury amongst jumpers. That's called the Jones fracture. I had two options. I could let it heal naturally, or I could get a screw put into it. Somebody told me if you let it heal naturally, you'll be faster and stronger and jump higher than you ever did. I'm so glad I listened to them, because that next year when I allowed it to heal naturally, I jumped higher, I was faster and stronger than I ever was before. This got the attention of the coach, who allowed me to, the year prior, be the manager for the team. So I'm the guy who is washing jerseys, folding them up, putting them nicely in your locker for the basketball team. And at the same time, everybody's getting a chance to know me. They're learning who I am. I'm learning a lot about them. I'm rebounding for them every day, going to their workouts, learning their plays. And when tryouts came around next year, I was the guy that they ended up picking. Maybe about 65 guys tried out. I was the only one to make the team that year. Yeah, so made a Division I basketball team. That was pretty cool.
And how'd you hook up with the Globetrotters then?
Yeah, so series of fortunate events. Even with the Globetrotters, I mean, every step of this journey for me, I had like some pushback. My first year learning about the Globetrotters was the year that I graduated college. So when I graduated college, I ended up starting my senior year. So I got on Sports Center top 10 plays on ESPN my senior year in college, and that caught the eye of a scout. A scout saw this down in South America, in Paraguay, and he called me to come do some workouts, and I went down. He came up to Columbus to watch me. I did the workouts, and I performed really well, and he gave me a contract down in Paraguay. I played one season in South America, and maybe had 30 points a game, 15 rebounds, 10 points, 10 assists, which is what you're expected to do as an American playing in a foreign country. But I hated it. Guys, I'm not a scorer. Pastor Chip, you know, because you play with me, you know what kind of game I have. I don't really like when all the attention is on me and I'm scoring. I'm much more efficient when I'm facilitating or just passing and making sure everybody's getting involved and having fun with the game of basketball. So, you know, being down there scoring like that, being the focal point was miserable for me. So I didn't return there. But that was also the time when I heard about this team called the Washington Generals. And that is a team that famously loses to the Harlem Globetrotters. So a friend of mine that I played in college with said, yeah, come play for the Washington Generals. I'm like, who are they? He's like, look, man, don't worry about it. You get to travel the world and your defense sucks, so you'll fit right in. I said, okay, sign me up. So I go and I go to training camp for the first year, and I learned how to be a Washington General, and I tore one season with the playing against the Harlem Globetrotters. And Pastor Chip, that was when I fell in love with the Globetrotters. I had never really heard about them growing up. As a kid, you know, my parents didn't have the money to take us to go to a Harlem Globetrotter game, so they didn't really advertise to us, so to speak. So I saw them on Scooby-Doo, but I didn't think that was a real team. I thought, you know, Batman is on Scooby-Doo, so like this is a fake team.
Right.
So when I did finally see them, and I played against them for the first time, it was like having a slice of pizza or a donut for the first time. You just want another one, another one, another one. I fell in love with the way that the fans treated the Harlem Globetrotters. Everywhere they go, they're the hometown team. And these guys and girls, they get paid to do the very thing that I was always criticized for growing up, which was being a good person and smiling. I got subbed out of a game one time for dunking the ball and smiling, like, and being nice afterwards. Like, I got subbed out of a game in high school one time for dribbling the ball between my legs. The coach subbed me out. He said, get out of here with all that fancy stuff. You know, this is before Kevin Durant, so like a lot of people, you're not used to seeing big guys doing a lot of ball handling. So they get paid to be the showman and be exciting and you know, also be good people. Their impact that they have off the court is amazing. I mean, they're going to children's hospitals, going to schools, doing anti-bullying rallies. You know, and I wanted to be a part of that. So my goal, my whole rookie season with the Washington Generals was to make that my last season with the Washington Generals and I wanted to make the Harlem Globetrotters. So every night, I'm going out there dunking on the Globetrotters, trying to do new tricks and trying to show out for the coach. And they're like, who is this guy on the Generals? The Generals aren't supposed to be that good. But we were. We almost beat them that year too. And I finally got a chance, and they gave me a tryout. And I ended up making the Harlem Globetrotters, and I've now been a member of the team for 9 years.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yes, sir.
So, kind of pulling this all together for the students, what is one thing you would say to them about your faith that they can put kind of in their back pocket and take with them? And second, what do you wish someone would have told you when you were beginning high school? Looking back on all that you went through, what's one thing that you wish someone would have told you that you can tell them?
Yeah.
So those are our kind of wrap-up questions. One about your faith that they can take, that you would give to them, and something about moving on to high school. What's one thing they need to keep in mind that you wish someone would have told you?
Something about my faith that I know brought me to the next level was that turning point, the summer of 10th grade. Making that declaration and that promise to God. God has a lot of things that he wants to give us. It says in the Bible that, the silver is his, the gold is his, the cattle on 1,000 hills. It all belongs to God. And God is looking for us to make a promise to him too. And once I made that promise, I really saw things start to change and turn for me in my life. Now, he's also going to hold you to that promise. So here we are today. I'm 33 years old, been a professional for 10 years. And I'm still giving glory and honor to God, letting everybody know, I'm letting you kids know today that the reason I'm here is because of God. Maybe God is looking for you to make a promise to him as well. So just kind of think in your mind, what is it that I could promise God that he could perform for me? And we don't just make promises to God so he'll do good things. He's a good father anyway. He's going to do great things for us anyway. But he's looking for you to make that step of faith and dedication to him, so that he can even give you more things and bless you with even more things. Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all these other things, they'll then be added to you. So I want to encourage you with that. Make sure you make God a promise. Now, one thing I wish somebody would have told me going into high school is it's a fresh start. You have new people that you've never met before. And you really want to take advantage of that fresh start. I remember my first interaction with any of my high school classmates was in the locker room of our 2-a-day practices at football, because football starts before the season, before school actually comes into session. So we started in summer. This was my first time meeting any of my classmates or anything. Everybody puts their name on their locker. The very first thing I did was I wrote my name, I put my nickname, I put Juju, and I put a cross right next to my name. So Juju and cross. Do you know that those two things stuck with me throughout my entire high school and even till today? People still call me Juju, and they would ask me what that cross meant and why I put that up there. So when you're first meeting these people in high school, make the interaction count. Because what you tell them is what they're going to hold you to for those next 4 years, even on through adulthood. So whatever you tell them, make sure you tell them something that is meaningful. If you want to make a stance for the Lord, if you want everybody to know who you are, you don't have to, be overly, God hired me shirts and, ask somebody, if they say good morning, you say, well, the Lord made it a good morning. You just want to do the basic things that you need to do to let everybody know that you are a chosen vessel of God and you are his. So a really big way to do that is by your lifestyle. People will see you, and the Bible says that our light will shine in darkness. So just allow your light to shine. Help people out. Speak to them. If you see somebody walking around school, they got their head hanging down, go up to them and just have a conversation with them. This kind of stuff is going to stick with you for the rest of your life. High school is a brand new start. Don't just make sure you take advantage of this new start that you're getting.
All right, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're here to share those thoughts with our students. And so this is Wednesday, April 29th, and I'm out. Peace.
Catch, kids, catch.